Welcome to my top 10 most anticipated and noteworthy comics for February 12th, 2025. Hopefully this list does help you make decisions on what comic books to buy. I'm Mike Spider-Slayer. Welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. If you love daily comic book content and you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, guys, what do you wait for? Go ahead and hit it. Also, if you want to become a member of my YouTube channel, it's super easy. Just go onto my home screen, hit that join button. As low as 99 cents a month can get you early access to my videos. It will get you stickers for your comments, monthly badges to let you know you have been a member of the channel. And like I said, it does help support the channel. And whether you do or don't, it's still much appreciated, guys. All right, so here we go. The book that's on the hot seat goes to Eddie Brock Carnage. This is issue 1. I feel like this is a pretty solid comic book week, probably maybe the best one of the year so far. So it's hard to make some decisions here. But yeah, I can't fathom Eddie Brock being Carnage. You want to talk about screwing things up? You know, everybody's like, well, who is Venom? And now all of a sudden Venom is, you don't know who it is. And Carnage is Eddie Brock. And people are going to be like, what? What the heck's happening here? What didn't I read? So yeah, you're going to get freaking Eddie Brock as Carnage. Whether he can control the Cletus Cassidy Carnage symbiote, who knows? But I am so curious to see how long this is going to last and if eventually Eddie Brock does become a Venom again. So I am intrigued, but it could be dumb too. So we'll see. 32 pages, $5. Next is a book that's on the rise. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was for the first issue, and that was Magic issue 2. This book got down and dirty right from the start as we got to see the mission at hand as Magic, Ileana, has to go out and try to stop these seals from unraveling that will unleash this demonic entity, right? And we got to see one of the seals broken in the first issue, and the mission is at hand, right? Great artwork in the comic, and like I said, it was something that I wasn't expecting because we have so many solo X titles out there. I was like, here's another one, right? They're just saturating the market with it, and this was a nice surprise. So this one is 32 pages for the price of $4. Here we go. Number 10. This is perfect number 10 book. One World Under Doom issue 1. Even though this is the big Marvel event of the year, I feel a lot of comic book readers out there have been burned when it comes to events, and myself included. People are feeling event fatigue because not only do you get the major event of the year, but you get events within your favorite characters, like a Spider-Man, like the X-Men, and now we got this One World Under Doom. So Doom is the Sorcerer Supreme right now, and how is he going to change the Marvel Universe? I think that's the big question, and will it affect the Marvel Universe in the long term? Hopefully for the better, because I would say that a lot of us Marvel fans out there, being that I'm a huge Marvel fan, you can see behind me, is that the books are not very good. So something needs to be shaken up and changed, and hopefully for the better. Dr. Doom is where it's at. He's the big villain. He's going to be in the movies. So hopefully it delivers on all cylinders. This is 40 pages, $6. Coming in at number 9 is a really good book. This is Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu. This is issue 5. It's a fun read. We wind up getting to see Moon Knight doing battle against this guy by the name of Fairchild. He's a drug pusher. He's taking over Moon Knight's territory. And Moon Knight was, in the last issue, kind of, talking to his other personalities on what he should do. Should he take on this guy? Shouldn't he take on this guy? Should he have a team? Should he be solo again? And he comes to a realization he's got to take on this guy one by one. I can't wait for the big fight that's going to be at hand here. Great comic book. Legacy numbering 245, 32 pages, $4. Another book that's really high on my list with Marvel, I would say it would be Moon Knight, Deadpool, Ultimate Spider-Man, and freaking Ultimates are probably like my favorite books right now from them. We have number 8 is Deadpool issue 11. We have Deadpool and his daughter teaming up. They have this business with Taskmaster that got to take out the opposition. Well, now they're down on their luck. They got no money. They got to take on the hard mission. And Cody Ziegler is teaming up with his two properties here. He's doing a crossover. He has Miles Morales in there. And one of the jobs that Deadpool has to do is take out Miles Morales. How is Ellie, his daughter, going to take this, this situation at hand? How is this book going to be crossing over with each other? I think it's going to be great. I think Cody Ziegler writes a great Miles Morales book, but I think he writes a better Deadpool book, and I'm just all in for this, man. This is 32 pages. This is $4. Coming in at number 7, speaking of Eddie Brock and Venom and Carnage, we have Venom. This is issue 3. So this book I find very intriguing because Al Ewing is finally writing a Venom book that I'm actually enjoying. All the shit that was in space, all that cosmic stuff, the time travel nonsense was absolutely just way too much. This is a little bit more simplistic. It takes place back on Earth. You're trying to find out who is Venom right now based off of what happened in the run. And we wind up seeing Dylan, who's kind of the detective here, trying to figure things out. And the great thing is Al Ewing recognizes that everybody that reads Spider-Man comic books hates freaking Paul. So what does he do? He writes freaking Dylan in this book to hate Paul, and I absolutely love that. It is so much fun, and it has good mystery, and I like how they have not revealed who this new Venom actually is, and they've kept it a secret. Hopefully it doesn't leak out before the comic comes out. Looking forward to it. 32 pages, $5. Coming in at number 6, another good issue 1 that just came out is Aquaman. This is Aquaman issue 2. So Aquaman has these new powers. It's come from absolute power. It's basically Mira's powers. He's learning how to control them. There's this pearl that surfaced that destroyed Atlantis, and now he's going into this gate and to find out what the mystery is. Jeremy Adams writes this book. So if you're a Jeremy Adams fan, if you love Green Lantern, if you like this Flash, you're probably going to like this book too. Looking forward to issue 2. It's 32 pages, $4. See what I'm talking about? It's a solid comic book week, and it's the first one in a while. You'll be surprised at this one. Number 5 goes to Absolute Batman issue 5. I mean, listen, guy, I don't even remember what I put at number 1, but Absolute Batman at number 5 is a shocker for me. I like this book. I think the last issue, we got to see a little bit of the origin story of how Bruce became this version of Batman. I didn't think the artwork was as solid as it was, but I get what they were kind of going for because it was more of a flashback issue. And it looks like we're still dealing with the party animals and whatnot. But when you have a flashback issue, I feel like it takes you a little bit out of the main story. So you kind of forget certain things that's going on here. But I'm looking forward to big battles, action, and just getting back to the normal artwork on this series. It's 32 pages for the price of $5. Coming in at number 4, we have a new number 1, and speaking of Jeremy Adams, this is Green Lantern Corps. This is issue 1. So when it comes to this comic book, I'm excited to bring the Green Lantern Corps back. It's been a long time. I would say since the New 52, we had a core book. So you could get like characters like Kyle Rayner, you could have Guy Gardner, John Stewart, JoJo, Simon Baz on here, Jessica Cruz. Like, you got all these guys. And it's gonna, I'm sure, cross over with the regular Green Lantern book based off of everything that's going on. And I'm just excited for it, man. This is going to be really a lot of fun. 32 pages, $4. So now I think it's the independent books. I think that's what overtakes always the top 2 for me these days, because you want those next level comic books, right? And I feel like these indies really are. And number 3 goes to Feral. This is issue 10, an absolutely outstanding series of a bunch of cats that are suffering from the rabies outbreak. It's like a zombie apocalyptic book, but with that situation going on. Last little story arc here, they're in some cat hoarder's house. She's suffering from a disease, and they're trying to escape from this house while being attacked by other cats that got rabies. It's grotesque, it's disgusting, it's just everything that you want in a horror book. It is so well crafted. I absolutely love this comic book. It's 32 pages, and this one is $4. Man, it's really good to be excited about a lot of great comics coming out this week. It's going to be hard to determine what's the best. Coming in at number 2, we have Geiger. This is issue 11. So if you remember Geiger issue 10, we wind up seeing Nate the Nuclear Knight, Barney, Zigzag, and Tyreek himself come across this new town, right? And they got held up at the gates, and you got introduced very briefly to a new character that looks very familiar to Tyreek, but again, in a female version. And it's very integral to Tyreek to kind of come up with maybe some kind of cure or way to control his powers, because right now he's off the handle. And I am so interested to see what's going to go on with this comic going forward. I love the heart. I love the family dynamic. This is such an amazing comic book. $4. All right, guys. So after number 1, we are not done, as we have those noteworthy comics to talk about, because there's some great comic books on here. But when it came to the noteworthy comic books, those are good comic books too, but I just couldn't fit them in a top 10 list. I'm telling you, it's a stacked week. And number 1 this week goes to Transformers issue 17. Yeah, guys, I mean, come on. The last issue, you had Bruticus, you had Devastator going against each other. Freaking Optimus Prime is going through some crap right now. Maybe because it has to do with that Megatron arm that's on him, and maybe the Decepticon power is somehow corrupting his mind, or whatever it is. You got Cliffjumper on Cybertron, may have something to help everybody. You got others searching for Ultra Magnus. There's like so much stuff going on in that comic book, and it's just a lot of fun to read. My favorite Transformers series that I've ever read my entire life. I never want it to end. I never want Daniel Warren Johnson to leave. It's going to happen eventually. Man, I'm so curious what's going to happen in the future of this comic. 32 pages, $4. All right, so here we go. The noteworthy comic books. This is a strong noteworthy. Even though it's not very good right now, we have the Amazing Spider-Man. We got this the 8 deaths going on. This is issue 67. Then we have the continuation of the X-Men. This is issue 11, as they dealt with this whole Cyclops situation that was going on in the last issue. Then you have the Immortal Thor. This is issue 20. Next, we have a pretty solid comic in Psylocke. This is issue 4. I love the most recent issue. It's pretty solid. Then we have Deadpool Wolverine issue 2, which I enjoyed that issue. That was good. Wolverine, was it? No, it was Deadpool that was taken over. He had to go on some kind of weird mission. Then we got Spider-Boy issue 16, which is always a decent comic book, all ages. Then we have DC Comics. We have Action Comics issue 1083. We have a very popular series for a lot of people, Batman and Robin issue 18. If you want another Batman book, you got Batman Dark Patterns. This is issue 3. And then we have the continuation of Black Lightning. This is issue 4. Here's probably the weakest book out of all the DC books I'm talking about today. DC vs. Vampires, World War V, Darkness and Light issue 1. Another freaking spin-off book off of DC vs. Vampires. I don't know, man. I don't think it's needed. Then we move on to the indie comics. It's good. I just couldn't put it in the top 10. We got Spawn. This is issue 361. Another book that's really good. The Moon is Following Us. This is issue 6. I know a lot of fans love I Hate Fairyland issue 20. Then We have the second issue of Lucky Devils issue 2. And then we have this one book that's, I think, a lot of people are highly anticipating, Bug Wars issue 1. That's a new one from Image Comics. And then we have Flash Gordon from Jeremy Adams. This is issue 6. And there you guys have it. There are some of the best when it comes to comics coming out for February 12th, 2025. It's stacked. Save your money for this week, guys. Let me know what you're most excited about. As always, I'm going to leave you more content right here for you to click on. Remember, support the local comic shops. Keep buying, keep collecting, but always read your comics so we can have great comic conversation. Guys, I'll see you real soon. Take care.